Sadhu sammataha etavan sadhu vadohi titikshetvarah swayam. This is a beautiful, wonderful story of Narada Muni, a great preacher, being cursed by Daksha Prajapati. Why? Because Narada Muni, he preached to the, I think 10,000 or how many lakhs of sons. I forget the exact count. Haryashavas. They had gone to perform austerities, penance, so that they can help their father who is a Prajapati. But Narada Muni intercepted them. And he told, why are you doing all these things, getting involved and getting entangled in all this material life and all that? The purpose of life is to go back to Godhead and develop love of God. He preached to them in the lonely forest, powerfully, and they all agreed, they got convinced, they went back to Godhead, didn't even go back home. They went back to their real home, back to Godhead. And Prajapati Daksha heard about this, and he became furious. All the sons I produced, my job is to do this. I am Prajapati, supposed to populate the universe. And here comes this smart aleck. And he cut short all my programs, all my plans, the future and everything. And he diverts them to Krishna consciousness, to the Hare Krishna movement. And they go back to Godhead. How dare he do this? Very angry, very disturbed. Of course, Narada Muni is somewhere else. He couldn't directly access him maybe. So, he produced another 1,000 sons. They were called the Shavalashavas. And he told them, don't make the same mistake. All of you go, meditate, prepare yourself, purify yourself by austerity, penance, come back and populate the universe. He was getting them ready. All the rituals and all the karma kanda, everything they did. They went, and Narada Muni descended on them also. The Shavalasavas also, he said, see, you should do what your brothers did. Why do you think so many brothers did that? Father may say so many things. He is interested in Prajapati business. But human life is meant for this. They were young, nice brahmacharis. He preached to them. He really killed the prospect of Prajapati Daksha and all his plans and everything. Preached to them so powerfully. They also said, we'll follow the path of our brothers. They also went back to Godhead. Then Narada Muni thought, I think I should stop this at the source. Let me go to Daksha and preach to him. He will not do this anymore. He was bold enough, after sending thousands and thousands of his sons back to Godhead. He said, let us try and stop this at the source. Nip it in the bud. He went to Daksha. And Daksha, it's described when he saw Narada Muni, he was shivering. His lips were shivering and he was faltering and said, you rascal, you that. So many things he scolded Narada Muni. My gosh, some of the words he has used. Who said you are a sadhu? Why are you wearing this dress? It's all simply external. And he spoke, I am so dedicated Grahastha. I am better than you. I have done all my duties and you have interfered inside. Spoilt my whole this thing. Just gave a whole thing. And Narada Muni just stood and listened. Have him unload his chest. All the misery. All that he heard. And then he finally, after calling Narada Muni all sorts of names and everything, I curse you that you will never be able to stay in one place. Then Narada Muni said, Tat Badam, so be it, my preaching will increase more. Because you told me not to stay in one place. Now I'll go to many places and create havoc. I'll preach to many Haryashavas and many Shavalashavas and many Prajapati Dakshas will get angry with me. Why? Because you have given me that facility. Don't stay in one place. Go to many places and do what you have done to me. He reversed that whole thing and took advantage of the curse and said Tat Bhadam. So here, the scintillating quality, character of Narada Muni is remaining very cool. Remaining very cool, number one. Number two, he did not get angry and curse Daksha. Number three, he accepted the curse. Because I have actually destroyed your family life. I am a sannyasi and I have intercepted your family life, your grahastha vrata, and I have screwed it up. So you will curse me and I have done it. You can curse me. Why? He is accepting the curse. Tat Bhadam. Okay, one person will be cursed, but lakhs of people went back to Godhead. Went back to Godhead. This is a tussle between dutiful execution of religion and executing the purpose of religion. Two are fighting. Dutiful execution of all religious rules and regulations nicely, also affording some enjoyment, and then doing all the duty, plus family life and everything together, nice. That principle against pure Krishna consciousness. Why do all those things and waste time and all that? Just chant Hare Krishna, go back to God and finish. That is the purpose of that. Achieve it instantly. In this way, Narada Muni in the Bhagavatam, in this instance, is showing that pure bhakti process, bhakti yoga, is paramount, supreme importance. You can sacrifice everything for that, even religion. This is the meaning of Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Praja. Give up all varieties of religious principles and everything that you're following. Surrender to me, because that is the purpose of religion. If you're able to directly execute that bhakti yoga, then you will immediately get bhakti. And that is the purpose. Why do all these other circuitous, elaborate, long way, Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadramai ki. So these are the two principles at war here. And in this world, often people will fight for these things. When devotees want to join the movement, at home the parents will argue like this. What we did not give you. We gave you education, we gave you a nice house, we gave you religion, we took you to the temple, we gave you money, we gave you food, we looked after you and everything, and you're going to leave everything and go to some ashram. What a waste! You can stay here and do the same thing. We are also doing the same thing. But the son is saying, no, you're not doing the same thing. You're not doing the same thing. In this way, there's a great misunderstanding constantly created between people who want to completely surrender to God and follow Krishna consciousness purely as per the instructions given in the Bhagavatam, and those who want to drag their feet and do all sorts of things, religious stuff and rituals and Vedic ceremonies and chanting of the Vedic mantras, and then festivals, and then everybody comes together and has a social gathering, and there is good feeling and families and all sorts of things together. So Krishna consciousness actually may not be this type of religion. Krishna consciousness is the purpose of religion. And here Narada Muni is directly stating that. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, just like Narada Muni, directly gave Krishna consciousness to everybody. Chant Hare Krishna, become a devotee of Krishna, worship Krishna, bholo Krishna, bhajo Krishna, karo Krishna shiksha. He directly told it, and the whole world, many people follow that. They become happy and they live in their communities and they go back to Godhead. It's assured. If you do this properly, chant without offenses, you will go back to Godhead and you will have perfect success in religion, in spiritual life, in everything together. You will have success. It's instantly. Bhakti sanjayate bhakti. Bhakti will give you bhakti. Karma will not give you bhakti. Jnana will not give you bhakti. Yoga will not give you bhakti. Bhakti itself will give you bhakti. Bhakti sanjayate bhakti. So therefore we are performing devotional service in a green manner, a raw manner. It will slowly become pakwa. It will become ripe and it will become paka, devotional service. Why not directly do devotional service only, even imperfectly? Because devotional service is so powerful. It's absolute truth. It will burn up everything temporary and relative and give you the permanent. So this is the process, direct Krishna consciousness process. The Bhagavatam upholds that. And all these great personalities we hear about, they are all great bhakti yogis. Narada Muni is boldly going and preaching that everywhere. He's a very learned sage. Devarishi Narada, amongst the Devas, is given a very great position. And he is going boldly and telling everybody to do this. So, Krishna consciousness means you will always have to face some trouble. The direct process will always not be liked by people who want to continue. Don't push. Slowly we will do. Surrender to Krishna we will do slowly. Enna avasram po? Just to enjoy a little bit in this thing. You know the truth. We are going to do it. But why immediately? Let's go through slowly, relax. And anyway we are chanting Hare Krishna. No? It will happen anyway automatically, slowly. Like that also there are, in the Krishna conscious community also there are religious people who religiously practice Krishna consciousness. In the world outside there are actually religious people who may be following the Karma Kanda very strictly like Prajapati Daksha and hoping to indirectly, gradually achieve Krishna consciousness. Right? So don't practice Krishna consciousness only like a religion. Practice Krishna consciousness as the end of all religion. Strictly, nicely do it. Because it's a great opportunity in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's time. If you do it perfectly, like the Hariya Shavas and Shavala Shavas, you will go back to Godhead instantly. This is a fact. They took Narada Muni. Narada Muni is a very powerful influence, a pure influence. And he is, anybody who encounters him will go back to Godhead. That is the history in the Bhagavatam you will see. Anybody who has come across Narada Muni, he will take care of you. Whether it is a hunter in the forest, or whether it is a snake, whether it is a king, whether it is an ordinary brahmachari, anybody who comes in touch with Narada Muni will get it. Will definitely get it. Similarly, anybody who comes in touch with Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada's instructions, his books, his society, and associates with devotees, there is a very good chance that you will also go back to Godhead like the Hariya Shavas and the Shavala Shavas. And Narada Muni has, in the parampara of Narada Muni, Prabhupada also was a bold preacher. He went all over the world and presented Krishna consciousness. He was not shy. He was not having doubts about what he is saying. Like Narada Muni to Daksha, Daksha gave very good reasoning. If you read the reasoning given by Daksha, you will actually feel, what is wrong here? Correct only, he is telling no. You want to see that? I must give you some explanation. Why this is a problem. And why many of us may be on the side of Daksha. By our reasoning. I'll tell you. Especially it's good for Grahasthas to learn this. Narada Muni comes in front of the Prajapati Daksha. Alas, Narada Muni, you wear the dress of a saintly person, but you are not actually a saint. Indeed, although I am now in Grahastha life, I am a saintly person. By showing my sons the path of renunciation, you have done me an abominable injustice. You send them back to Godhead? Very bad. That's what he's saying. He's cursing Narada Muni. Prajapati Daksha said, my sons were not at all freed from their 3 debts. Indeed, they did not properly consider their obligations. O Narada Muni, O personality of sinful action, you have obstructed their progress towards good fortune in this world and the next, because they are still indebted to saintly persons, the demigods and their father. Prajapati Daksha continued, thus committing violence against other living entities and yet claiming to be an associate of Lord Vishnu, you are defaming the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is also a devotee, Prajapati Daksha. He is telling, because of you, Krishna's name got spoiled. You are needlessly created a mentality of renunciation in innocent boys. And therefore you are shameless and devoid of compassion. How could you travel with the personal associates of the Supreme Lord? All the devotees of the Lord, but you, are very kind to the conditioned souls and are eager to benefit others. Although you wear the dress of a devotee, you create enmity with people who are not your enemies. Or you break friendship and create enmity between friends. Are you not ashamed of posing as a devotee while performing these abominable actions? Prajapati Daksha continued, if you think that simply awakening the sense of renunciation will detach one from the material world, I must say that unless full knowledge is awakened, simply changing dresses as you have done cannot possibly bring detachment. Material enjoyment is indeed the cause of all unhappiness, but one cannot give it up unless one has personally experienced how much suffering it is. Therefore, one should be allowed to remain in so-called material enjoyment, while simultaneously advancing in knowledge to experience the misery of this false material happiness. Then, without help from others, one will find material enjoyment detestful. Those whose minds are changed by others do not become as renounced as those who have personal experience. Pretty good logic, huh? If you read this, most probably you will vote for Prajapati Daksha. Although I live in household life with my wife and children, I honestly follow the Vedic injunctions by engaging in fruitive activities to enjoy life without sinful reactions. I have performed all kinds of yajnas, including the Deva Yajna, Rishi Yajna, Pitru Yajna, Nira Yajna. Because these yajnas are called vrata, vows, I am known as Graha Vrata. Unfortunately, you have given me great displeasure by misguiding my sons for no reason to the path of renunciation. This can be tolerated once. You have made me lose my sons once, and now you have again done the same inauspicious thing. Therefore, you are a rascal who does not know how to behave towards others. You may travel all over the universe, but I curse you to have no residence anywhere. Then we read today's shloka. So, is Daksha bad? Is Daksha really bad? Poor Grahastha. All his children taken away by Krishna consciousness movement. Is he not legitimately arguing? Yes or no? Now you're finding it very difficult to shake your head, even your eyelids. This is what Bhagavatam is teaching you. Bhagavatam is teaching you that Narada Muni is correct. Narada Muni is correct. This is what is Krishna consciousness. This is a hard thing to digest for those who are very attached to fruitive world of actions. This is what one should give up. It is not that we should immediately do it. Fine. But you must understand what is the problem. Narada Muni understands the problem very well. Prajapati Daksha is not willing to detach himself. That is obvious in the way he is talking. He doesn't want to pay respect to Narada Muni. I don't like people like you who come and make people render devotional service and all that. Gradually, meduva pono. I like that only. I don't support you. What is wrong? I am a Hindu. I am worshipping Ganesha. I follow everything properly at home. I do all my duties. I work hard. I earn money. Look after my family. And we are going through our own experiences. And in between, you are coming with this message. It will split up my family. It split up my cozy comfort and grahastha life. How dare you do this? I curse you for disturbing my family life. So Prabhupada said, many parents of devotees who have joined me have cursed me. And because of this, I am forced to travel all over the world. And he said, I will pass away from this world and this curse has to be taken up by all the sannyasis. And they should travel and preach. How nicely Prabhupada converted that whole thing. He said that curse should be taken up by everybody else. Should travel and they should preach. It is actually quite an austerity. You travel and long distances and you arrive at places where the culture is very different, the food is very different, the people are different, and you don't have that type of facility, this type of facility that you're used to, but you're called time and again, like when we travel and all that, every day 4 programs minimum. You have to go here, go there, preach, and do the needful. So sometimes it is a little challenging. But our movement is expanding because of that. Many people are getting convinced and many people are taking up this path and becoming Krishna conscious. So this type of attitude will be met with all preachers. All preachers will meet this type of opposition. Many of our grahasthas are also preachers like this. And they also meet with many types of difficulties and problems and opposition. In the Krishna conscious movement, it's not that only the sannyasis preach. The sannyasis have a greater opportunity to preach. The grahasthas preach, the brahmacharis preach, the children preach. Everybody preaches the knowledge of Krishna consciousness. And they face opposition. Everywhere people face opposition. Whenever you speak about the truth, you will be opposed. Prabhupada is giving example of Jesus Christ crucified for speaking the word of God. This world is filled with people who don't want to accept God. They will only accept God ritualistically a little bit. Okay, I went to temple, put some this thing. Beyond that, if you say anything about God, I'll finish you. Just a little regular, this thing I don't mind. But God cannot take over my life. He cannot become the important person in my life. God is one side resource. Whenever I feel this thing, I will go and pray to God and come back. That is the type of religion most people want to follow. Whether it's in Christianity or in any other places, we all, when once in a while I'll go to church feeling very little this thing, go and God, I pray. It's like a psychological, mental exercise for your well-being. Spirituality, God and all that should be used only like that. That's the type of thing people do. But nobody knows the science. And nobody knows why it is important to have people like Narada Muni move around in this world, accept the curse on the head, and continue to preach Krishna consciousness as a big sacrifice. As a big sacrifice. So, if Prabhupada had not done that when he was 70 years old, took a ship and traveled across the seas, the world wouldn't have changed like this in Krishna consciousness. One person decided to do it because most people don't do it. Most people will stay comfortably situated in religion, in ritual. Or even if they know the stuff, they will not go and preach. They're satisfied that, oh, I am chanting my japa, I chanting my Krishna consciousness, that is enough. Other people, I am not bothered. I am not going to spend time trying to convince them. It's too difficult for me. And moreover, I don't have any intention to spend my time like that. Many people are Goshti Anandis, Bhajana Anandis, will do their bhajana, Ananda out of the bhajan, very nice. I'll chant my rounds, I'll worship Krishna, I will read Bhagavatam, I will eat prasadam, and I'll sleep. Bhajananandi, I'll stay in Vrindavana and I'll look after myself. Goshti Anandi means this is not enough for me. Other people also should do and they should also become happy like me. I want to share it with others. I want to spend my life sharing it with others. That is considered to be very high. So a preacher accepts that type of a service. Not that somebody asked him to do it. He himself should also be interested in sharing Krishna consciousness with others. That feeling of wanting to share something good with others, that is important. That attitude of wanting to share with others. Sharing Krishna consciousness makes you grow internally. And others also will grow along with you. And there will be growth everywhere. World is filled with people who are all growing and dynamically practicing connection with the absolute truth. That is the type of a world that Prabhupada envisioned. He wanted everybody to access Krishna, everybody to become Krishna conscious and live peacefully and then go back to Godhead and be with Krishna. He had such a very broad welfare idea for everybody in this world. And he started this mission for that purpose. A great preacher, a very broad-minded preacher. Very, very broad-minded. And he believed, fully knew it is possible to do it. He never thought that it is not possible. It's very amazing. Because Lord Chaitanya has said so, it will happen. And somebody should initiate it. And he did it. He went ahead and shared Krishna consciousness. Everybody, it worked. He just very simply said that. I simply tried. It worked. It's not that I was very sure and all that. I said, since he has said it, at least somebody should try. And so I tried. In a very jovial way, when he was asked, why you went to America? America was not very this thing at that time. Everybody was going to UK, London, British and this and that. UK colonized the whole world. And why did you not go to UK? He said, previously my godbrothers went to UK. And this is a mission which I am not very sure. I thought if I fail, I'll at least fail in a new place. He just very nicely said that. Most probably it will be a failure. So at least I can say because I went to this place only it failed. Because it's a new place. It's not London, it's not UK. If you go to the same place and fail, it is even worse. So he said, I'll go to a new place and fail, he said very cheekily. But it worked. But it worked. He was a very successful preacher. And not that he did not face all impediments. Faced a huge amount of impediments. But he simply went on. Because people are benefiting. And at least some people are becoming Krishna conscious. Anyway, I don't expect that whole world will become Krishna conscious immediately. The fact that some people are taking up Krishna consciousness, chanting Hare Krishna, becoming devotees, he became very excited. And when Prabhupada was there, he was only envisioning and he did not see this type of thing that we are seeing. All over the world there are so many temples, so many devotees, so many books being distributed, Harinam and all that. But it was all started by Prabhupada. And he had small groups here, there, he was visiting and starting it off. Pioneering work he did. We are all enjoying after the pioneering work is over. We come to a fully finished temple. This is Krishna consciousness. Oh, this is something nice to eat. What is it? Prasadam. And this is a book you can read. Everything is already made and ready. You know, initially the devotees did not have books to read because it's not published. Prabhupada's lecture only they were reading. 1 or 2 books were there. They were borrowing and reading. Here, everywhere books are lying all over the place. Sponsored book here, this book there, this book. You can get it all over the place. So can you just imagine what austerities preachers would have gone through in the parampara for us to be comfortably situated in Krishna consciousness. Therefore, we must pay back in gratitude by taking up Krishna consciousness very seriously. People like Narada Muni have taken curse on their head for you and for me. Don't think you're not connected here. It's because they took these curses on their head. They took great amount of pains in the parampara that we are able to enjoy Krishna consciousness, experience Krishna consciousness. So we should be very grateful. The best way to be grateful is to practice it and share it with others. This is what they expect from you. Just like we shared it, you should share it as far and wide as possible. As far and wide. And it requires a little bit of work, organization, time. Give that time. Sit down and note all the people whom you know, your friends, your relatives, your acquaintances, anybody and everybody, and be determined to anybody comes in touch with me, I'll give him Krishna consciousness. The best gift I have, I must share it. In this way you can live a life, a wonderful Narada Muni moment in your life. It doesn't matter you are a woman, a child, an old man, it doesn't matter. You can experience the sharing of Krishna consciousness. And you will be very happy doing it. Try it and see. Share Krishna consciousness. Be a preacher. This is our parampara. This is what Lord Chaitanya did. All his followers did. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada did. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur did. Bhakti Vinoda Thakur did. All of them shared Krishna consciousness widely. And they were very happy doing it, even if they are subjected to the worst things in the material world. Internally you are very happy doing it. So that is bliss. Chant Hare Krishna and share Hare Krishna with others. Share Krishna with others. Give Krishna to others. This is such a wonderful gift. There cannot be any greater gift. And Krishna has made himself accessible for sharing. In Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's time, he has made himself available. You want to share me with somebody? Take me. I'll take and share you with somebody. He has made it possible. Otherwise, it's very difficult normally. So Krishna is in a very merciful mode as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So I just want to say that it is not that only Narada Muni and Prabhupada can do it. Your mind will tell you, don't try it. See, you are not Narada Muni, you are not Prabhupada. You should never do this. You should just sit in a corner and just chant and first finish your rounds and necessarily go to sleep and relax. Don't do these things. Because you are not Narada Muni. You are not Prabhupada. I am not. I know very well. And they also know I am not. Therefore, they ask me to do only some things that I can do. That is to share Krishna consciousness by giving them Harinam, giving them books, explaining to them, facilitating Krishna consciousness for them. You must do it. You must do it. In fact, you should maintain a scorecard. How many people did I speak Krishna consciousness to today? 1, 2, 3. Every day you do this. Every day you do this. And you become very dear to Krishna. This is Krishna's statement in Bhagavad Gita. Nachatasman manusheshu kaschin me priyakritamah bhavita nachame tasman anya priyattaro bhuvi. Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki. Any question or comment?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisance. Maharaj, here as example of Narada Muni is given that all the sons of Daksha is converted into brahmacharya to go back to Godhead. So does it mean that the Grihastha cannot practice such pure devotional service and go back to Godhead? Another question is...
it doesn't mean that. Because nowhere I read anything like that. It is just that Prajapati Daksha is not recognizing something. He's stuck. He become very attached to fruitive activities. And he's not able to see the reason beyond it. It's very pathetic. That's why Narada Muni is not saying anything. Because he's feeling compassion for Daksha. Jo Pavam. He's not understanding. He's not understanding what good I have done for your sons. That you're not able to appreciate. So, he's not saying anything. Because you're unable to do that. Unable to appreciate Krishna consciousness. Unfortunately, you are not doing it, so you don't appreciate it. That is what is mentioned. But for Grihasthas, who are already carrying out Krishna consciousness, this is not applicable. Then?
Yeah, actually, another question like many, in our moment, many, they are joining as a brahmachari. But in due course of time, they are also getting into Grihastha ashram. Does it mean that they failure in their attempt?
They led a brahmachari life and then they became Grihastha. So what? Why is it a failure? Failure in what? They failed in what?
That's all. Like because first question.
It's your question, so I'm asking you a question. They failed in what? They didn't fail. If they're continuing their Krishna consciousness in the Grihastha ashrama, they continue to be devotees and they may be more comfortable. They're doing. It's okay. It's not that if you are a brahmachari for some time and then marry, it is a failure. In fact, that is the way you can be a good grihastha. Because you must be trained first as a brahmachari in restraint, in control of the senses, in the control of the mind, under a guru. You should learn to be obedient to a spiritual master. All these things you will learn. It is not that brahmachari means only association with women. That's not the only thing. That's very external. Swadhyaya. He will learn scripture best at that time. When he is away. Not in his mind is not disturbed with all the members of the opposite sex and everything. He stays away in his Gurukula and focuses on study of Shastra. He learns discipline. He learns obedience to authority. He learns to be in service mode. He serves the Guru. All these things he learns. That is brahmacharya. Then when he becomes a grahastha, he lives a very good grahastha life. But if he jumps into grahastha life without this training, then he is a failure. Then only failure comes. You have nothing wrong in actually getting trained as a brahmachari. That is what we recommend, that even if you're going to be a grahastha in the future, at least 2, 3 years, 4 years you spend in the brahmacharya ashram and learn discipline, learn some regulation, learn some control. That's why it's very important to do that. It's not a failure. Any other question or comment? Yeah.
Maharaj, when you talk about preacher, and what could be the qualification of a preacher, Maharaj? Say whether you should be qualified in terms of everything and you should be...
He must have done his PhD in preaching. I'm sorry. I'm just joking. Qualification of a preacher is, he should know that I should simply convey the message as it is, without adding any masala to it. As he has heard from the Acharya, founder Acharya, in his books, I should endeavor to understand it, and to the extent that I understand, I should convey it. But don't change it, don't add any masala to it. And he should be humble. Prabhupada says here, very humble. Humility and purity in conveying the message, and not claiming proprietorship over your preaching. I preached to him, I made him a devotee. That sometimes is a little dangerous. You didn't, you were just reading, cutting and pasting. I don't think you are the original writer of the books. You are repeating what you heard and what you have realized and what you have understood. And this way you're becoming an instrument for Krishna, for Prabhupada in the mission. And you are happy to be in that position. I'm an instrument, I'm a servant. And there are many people doing this. I'm just one of them, small one. And I'm contributing something. I'm very happy about that. Be satisfied. And do your best. That is the meat. Tranadapi sunichena taroriva sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. One who chants in this mood will be a good preacher. Okay?
Maharaj, one more question. That person whom you are trying to preach, he will be more convinced or more be converted to Krishna consciousness. Only the preacher should be pure enough. To what extent purity is required, Maharaj? Sorry.
Whether you are pure or not pure, you speak what the pure person has said. That you can do, no? That's called sincerity. Whether you are pure or not pure, can't you not repeat what the pure person has said? Do it. It will have effect. And if you become more pure and more pure as you practice Krishna consciousness, it will have better effects. But that don't come to the logic of saying that I will preach after I become fully pure. Then most probably you won't preach at all. Prabhupada asked everybody to sincerely go and preach. It is the order of Prabhupada, it's the order of Lord Chaitanya. Amaragnya Guru Hoi Tare Desh. He has mentioned that. He's given an order. Carry out this preaching. So we must do that. This does not mean that we should not be pure, it does not matter, it's not important. No. That is your personal thing. That is your personal thing. But outside is an order that you must do. So like military, you have to follow it. So since you have to do it, better you keep pure. It will be a better job. Otherwise your job will not be so good. Anyway, you have to do it. So better you keep yourself internally clean so that you can do a very good external job. If you don't, your job will not be very good. Either way you have to do. Okay?
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yeah.
Maharaj, I was seeing Narada Muni's situation here. Like he was actually being cursed by Daksha. Daksha was pouring on him. But still Narada Muni stood there to actually preach. So when we put ourselves in that situation, many of us actually would react to Daksha. So how can we ourselves not react but stay tolerant and then preach in that kind of situation?
Don't meet with Daksha. Meet with his assistants. That's all. Simple. Who asked you to go and meet Daksha? Don't meet with Daksha. Meet with his lower assistants and show off. Be very humble and quiet. Be okay. You are not able to face Daksha because his reasoning and argument is very good. You have to be able to cut through that. Narada Muni chose not to do argument or curse him or anything. He just humbly accepted. And he said, okay, I'll take your curse. Be happy. Because you are very disturbed now. And I am the reason for that disturbance, I understand. But I'm sorry, that is my profession. I will continue to do it. I am a marketing man for Krishna. And I am not afraid of you. I will not stop marketing, but one client has become a little angry. That's okay. There are many more. I will manage. He went ahead. He kept doing. Not everybody gets angry like Daksha. Some may get angry and not speak like Daksha. So there is a lot of scope, and he went ahead. It's very positive. For a world full of conditioned souls, so one guy is getting hot. Chalo, we'll go that side. It's a huge market. Why should he be worried? If one person says this or that, it's not that he says, I'm going to stop preaching hereafter. I don't know. The world is filled with so many people. Go there and preach to people. That means you are very weak and small. Okay? Jai Ho. Om Tats. Any other question or comment, please?
Maharaj, online questions.
Oh, that's a separate variety.
Maharaj from Srivas Krishna Chaitanya Das. Danvat Maharaj, your
But he was
Holiness.
offline just now here. Wow. Tell me.
Danvat Maharaj, your Holiness mentioned Krishna consciousness is purpose of religion. While practicing, chances of defocused with the purpose. Defocused from the purpose, how to keep up the focus always?
Defocus. Defocus from the purpose, how to keep the focus on the purpose. Sounds like a sutra. Well, I think you've given the answer in your question. Focus. That's all. You've already given the answer. Please focus. When Prabhupada was asked how to be sincere, he said, just be sincere. What more can you say? How to be sincere? Be sincere. So, how to focus? Vyavasayatmika buddhi ekeha kurunandana bahushaka hi anantascha buddhayo avyavasayinam. Krishna explains focus and many pronged, divisional, splayed intelligence. So, when a person gets the topmost benefit, when he gets the most valuable thing, why does he not keep focus on enjoying it? That's a counter question to you. If you have Krishna consciousness, which is valuable, and there's nothing of greater value than that, and you have it with you, why is it that you cannot focus? It simply means that you pay value to some other things more than this. Therefore, you are getting disturbed and not able to focus. Check your internal value system. Is it something more valuable? That will disturb your focus on the most valuable. At least by knowledge and by theory, you know Krishna is the most valuable. You know that. And by chanting Hare Krishna, you have Krishna. So why is it you can't focus on that? I always give this example. You don't have to teach a child. Eat the Cadbury's with focus, without distraction you must eat. Do you have to tell them that? Eat the chocolate without distraction. He's going for it. Will you eat without distraction? Hey, shut up, just give it to me. Why are you talking about focus when I'm going to eat the most lovable thing for me? I want chocolates. And you don't give it to me at all. And you give me one bar of chocolate and you give me, will you focus and eat it? Stupid. I'll know nothing else but the chocolate. I won't even see your face. That's how I'll be focusing. It's most valuable to me, that experience of that taste and that feeling. So, I know value for the chocolate. I don't need to be told to focus. Same way, if you know the value of Krishna, you don't need to be taught to focus. If at all you're having a problem in focusing on the chocolate, which you like so much, then something else is wrong with you. Something else is wrong with you. What? You're mentally very disturbed about something. Even your best thing bought in front of you, I'm no more to eat chocolate. Because something else is disturbing you. Something else is disturbing you. So you should check that. So, defocus is because of some other counter value that is coming up and disturbing you. So that's why we should do a introspective search and see inside. What is it that's disturbing me? What has come and, interfering? And most probably we will see, we'll have one of those many different attachments that are actually spoiling. And they're very subtle. Sometimes you can't make out. You need another person to examine and tell you this is it. That's why we have mentors, we have guru, to whom you can say this is what is happening, and he can tell you, I think this is where you have an attachment, and maybe you can look into it. Okay? Yes. But you're not able to know. You're not able to. Sometimes knowledge helps. Oh, this is what is troubling me. My gosh, I got it now. Sometimes when you get knowledge, because you're a very analytical person, and most of the jobs that you do nowadays, your analysis and analytical abilities are put to focus. And everything you run through that system. And when you get knowledge and understand, crack it and say, wow, you feel very good. I've understood now. You'll be in a greater position to control it. You don't know what is troubling you, but when you know what is troubling you, you're in a better position to control it. Knowledge is very useful. That's why we read Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavat, and try to get to know what is happening. Krishna gives knowledge. Arjuna asks many, many questions. Atakena prayuktoyam papam chariti purusha anicham api varshneya baladiva niyojita. Arjuna is asking, what is it that impels me and forces me to act sinfully although I don't want to? This is the type of questions he asks. And Krishna tells him it is lust. Kama yesha krodha yesha rajoguna samudbhava. So Arjuna gets that knowledge and becomes enlightened. Oh, these, and then Krishna gives further information. He tells this lust is sitting in the mind, intelligence, and the senses. These are the strategic positions the enemy has occupied and disturbing you. So watch out. In this way, Vidyena miha vairinam. This is your greatest enemy. So in this way, with knowledge, you know what is happening to you, why it is happening to you, how it is happening to you. Then you are in a better position to control the things. If you want, that is. That's why. Alright? Om Tat Sat Harik. Okay.
Maharaj, when children are raised in Krishna consciousness, sometimes we have to be in the relative circle. So that time, just like Daksha accuses Narada, so we also sometimes when the relatives say that your child is being completely denied of material enjoyment, it's understood that you are there, but you are bringing the child also in this. So how do we make them understand that the child is experiencing a divine enjoyment?
Let me ask you a question. Is it true that your child is denied any enjoyment?
I understand that the child is not denied, but how do I convey to them that?
No. They are seeing something. I'm understanding what they are seeing. They are commenting about something. No, you just made that comment.
Yes.
That they comment that it's not at all good that you're denying this enjoyment to your child.
Definitely.
What is it that you're denying?
In their
You didn't allow him to go to movie.
Yeah.
You didn't allow him going to the restaurant. That's all, no?
Yes.
Yeah, you tell them he's watching Krishna conscious movies. He watches Ramayana. It's not that he doesn't go for movie. He watches the Ramayana, he watches the Bhagavad, he watches Krishna. So it's not that he's not. Just the subject matter is different. It is not that he did not go to the restaurant. So what? That dirty fellow, somebody is cooking there after scratching his head, not taking bath for 20 days and scratching his bottom. And then he puts all that powder inside and it tastes very good for you and you pay out of your pocket so much. I cook for my child fantastic dishes and they are not ordinary dishes. They are offered to the Lord. And ask him, he likes to eat out or inside. He'll hate eating outside because he knows they're all not devotees. He's got a value system in him, much, much better than you. Prove to her that my child will become better than you. And that is the truth. Because he is learning the highest thing. Vidya Vadu Jivanam. In the Sikshashtakam it is mentioned. The soul of education is the Harinam. So he is chanting Hare Krishna. And God has said the soul of education is Harinam. Do I need a better judge? You don't know how to judge it. Like that, with pride you must say, because you believe in it, don't feel, oh, actually I'm not giving that. It's not that you're not giving, you're giving much more than that.
Yeah, that time.
Yes. You have to have faith that you are giving. That's why I'm asking you this question. Have you denied material enjoyment? You're not. That's it. If you have got a conviction, then anybody ask any question, you will tell them, no? You be convinced. If you are sending your child to one of these regular schools, there is a good chance that he will not be happy with the enjoyment you are giving. Because his company is like that. His company is, that is where the problem will come. Because most probably the child only will tell, my mother is not giving me this. Most probably. Why? Because he is in the company of others who are like that. So you'll have to face it. It's difficult. This is my counter question. It's a very hard question and a difficult thing to answer. is why are you, after reading the entire Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, sending your child to this type of a school where they do all sorts of crazy things? Now there's drugs being given in the schools. There is, everything is free and available. There's no, they're not going to look after your child like that. They just are doing business. Isn't it? So,
But
hard questions.
Not being exposed to that and coming to Krishna consciousness, I mean, at least being exposed to that, they can remain more fixed, no Maharaj.
At least, I didn't
They
hear
can
you.
remain more fixed. They can understand that this is the real path.
That much they will do, but since they are young, it's not so easy for them to control themselves under peer pressure from others, both subtle and outside in a gross way. It's very difficult. You have to be very intelligent and should be like Prahalad and Dhruva and all that. Which what most parents think, my son is Dhruva, but it's not. My son is Prahalad, but neither are you Hiranyakashipu's wife. Right? The realities are different. So according to the realities, apply the principles. Apply the principle. So why are you not bold enough to do homeschooling for your child? Cut off all this association and homeschool your child. Otherwise you are forced to face some of these things. It's a reality. I don't doubt that you're a very, very well-intentioned, wonderful devotee and you want everything good for your son and daughter. But there is no choice. Somewhere we have to draw a line and make a choice. Okay? I'm not able to give you an answer that you may like to hear.
It helped a lot.
Yeah. Any other question or comment?